Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to the channel and welcome to this whole new project. Now, I was rummaging around my old stuff and I found this. The plans of probably the first kit I had back in the 20th century, and this was a kit, and I do remember that I managed to build up, I think, the elevator or the stabilizer and the fuselage, and that was it. I never finished the model actually. So one of the ideas was actually to finish that one off, like 30 years on, kind of, something like that. So I've got the plan. The challenge with the plan that I see is that being a kit, a lot of the things were just marked on the wood. So if you look, for example, at the ribs down here, this has typical wing rib, but it's just probably wing rib number 2, but it doesn't have 3, 4, 5. I don't have the ribs for the tail plane itself. There are also some pieces missing on the forward fuselage. So being a kit, it doesn't have everything that I need to do to actually build it up. But I'm not giving up on it, because then I found on AutoZone that somebody probably did all the homework. I'm not sure how they did it, but they got all the pieces. So then I managed to get this other plan out. I think in wingspan is pretty much the same. I think it's supposed to be 24-inch, and then this is the plan with all the bits and pieces. It tends to roll up, but if you can see here, we have the fuselage front parts, we have the wings, all of them. You see wing rib 1 required, 10 of WT, 2 of W3, so it's all marked here. Also the tail plane ones. So this one seems to be a complete plan, and pretty much the same model. A little bit of a difference maybe with the nose block and things like that, but this is the one that I'm going to be building then. So I'm going to put away the old plan. I might keep it, let's say, for historical reasons. That, as I say, and here you can't see it, but there are still holes around on the fuselage. I do remember that fuselage like lying around the house for years, and I never got to finish it. So I'll put this aside, I'll keep it, probably put it back in a box where it was, and then lay down the plan for the complete plan, and then start to build this up. What I do see is that it's a lot made of 2.5 millimeter square, which is, for the Imperial ones, is 3/32, and I'm not sure how to hold this open a little bit. Because at the same time I want to look at the stock that I have. I don't think I have 2.5 or very much left of it, so I might need to go to the shop also and buy some, but I'll probably try to start to build things up with whatever it is that I have. And a small model, rubber powered, small model for me, but I remember when I was smaller, when I was younger, back in the 20th century, it actually looked huge for me. So let's see how it goes, and if it will ever fly. That's also the question with me. One never knows if it flies. So let me try to dig out what I have, and lay down the plan, put the plastic on it, and take the first steps in building up this Keil Kraft Eaglet that we see here. And I've managed to lay the plan down, and I've checked what amount of wood I have. This is all I have of the 2.5 millimeter, which is the 3/32. I think it is 3/32, and then I have also a little bit of 1.5, which would be for the ribs. At least measuring on the plan, I can't see anywhere where it says, but measuring on the plan, it's around 1.5. So it's not very much. So I do have to go to the shop later today probably. In the meantime, what I have found, I still have some stock. I think this is from the Hurricane from Ray. So thank you, Ray. You're sponsoring a lot of the builds that I'm doing. So, and I did measure. I pulled out the caliper, and I managed to measure, and it's around that 2.5 millimeters. It's not accurate. It's never exactly accurate, but it's more or less there. So I think I have enough stock at least to start to build something. So what I'm going to do, I was thinking of starting with the tail plane because there's not much, but on second thoughts, I think I'm going to start with the fuselage. There are some pieces that you can't probably see. Let me point at them, especially around the cockpit area, that are kind of custom made, and the bottom of the fuselage, and then these strips, I'll be able to use these. So I'll start to trace out with my typical process or procedure, which is I take the masking tape, I take a sharp pencil, and I trace it out and then put it onto the sheet of balsa and then cut it out. And as I need 2 of each, so each piece I'll then do it twice. So that is basically what I'm going to start to do now. Let's see if this is enough to build up at least the front part of the fuselage, and then with the strips then the side of the fuselage. So at least I have enough material to start. So let's get on with it. And I've been keeping myself busy, so as you can see here on the plan, I have already one side of the fuselage. There are here now 2 approaches as to building the other side. One approach that I have used is to put another sheet of plastic and build immediately on top of this side. That is useful because it makes sure that both sides are the same. In case I didn't follow exactly all the lines exactly. But I'm not going to do it this time because I don't have another piece of plastic now at hand and I don't want to look for it. So what I'm going to do is kind of the classical view, which is removing this build and then building the other side again exactly the same. And if I follow the lines as accurately as I can, it should turn out pretty much the same. Let's say it like that. I'm not going to say it's going to be identical, but it's going to be very, very close. So let me now pull out this side. It should already be completely dry. As you can see, a lot of pins are used for this, and there's a lot of different pieces, and that's part of the fun, right? So let's use a small ruler to try to unstick it, because inevitably glue does get stuck a little bit to the plastic, and that's the point of using the plastic, that it doesn't get glued to the paper. So here we have one side of the fuselage. It's nice how to see like how a 2D drawing slowly becomes a 3D construction. If I had a 3D printer, it would be much faster, right? But anyhow, this is the manual 3D printing approach. So that's one side, so I'll go ahead and build up the other side. And other things that I've been doing, I've been already cutting out, I don't know if you can see them here, these are the ribs for the stabilizer in the rear. And what else do we have? I have the pieces then for the side fuselage. I'm also cutting up the strips for the top fuselage, and even here, I don't know if you can see it at the very bottom left, already cutting out these forms that actually go then to give the top of the engine cowling, let's say, or the top of the nose. So cutting things out, also the ribs to be cut out, small pieces to be cut out, and now to lay out the other side of the fuselage. So I'm going to leave it here for the moment because it's going to be pretty much the same, and I'll see you then next time with whatever progress we have. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.